Saying Protestant churches are all always ugly is like saying Protestant churches are all just a bunch of rock concerts or TED Talks. That's true for some of them, but there's also banal, cringy Catholic liturgies. Recently, I came across this meme showing a simple church allegedly being the most ornate Protestant church and a beautiful Catholic church being the least ornate Catholic church. And when I hear that, I say, what kind of incense have you been smoking? Most Catholic churches I've attended are bland or beige, as Bishop Barron might say. They aren't hideous, but they aren't memorable either. They're just the product of uninspired architectural trends in the 1970s. And you don't get to ignore them because you just really want to dunk on Protestant architecture. In fact, the atrocious example of church architecture I used in my episode on why liberals love ugly art was the Catholic Newman Center at UC Berkeley. Now, it's true, a lot of Protestant churches are also bland, but there are Protestant churches that have beautiful architectural designs that inspire genuine awe in those who see them. There's the Episcopal Cathedral of St. John the Divine, built to rival St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, the Hallgrímskirkja in Iceland, and St. Matthew's Lutheran Church in Charleston. Finally, the Catholic church in this meme is the San Agustin Church in the Philippines. It's a 400-year-old church in a country where 80% of the population is Catholic. In contrast, the simple Protestant church in this meme is a church in Algeria, where the population is 99% Muslim. Christians have very limited religious freedom in the country, and the government recently closed churches for allegedly not being registered with them. According to this article, Youssef Oraman, the leader of a Protestant church in Algeria, has denounced the closure of his church, which has been around for more than 20 years. Last November, local authorities closed the church, claiming it had been used to, quote, illegally print gospels and publications intended for evangelism. Unless you have the benefit of a basilica that already existed when Algeria was a French colony, you're going to have trouble building an ornate Christian church in the country today. But I'd rather praise these Protestants for risking their freedom to spread the gospel and dialogue with them about the nature of the church than simply take pot shots at them for the simple way they express their worship of God. Now, it's fair to point out problems in major elements of Protestant architecture, like how some Protestants will engage in altar calls even though there is no altar in their church for people to approach. But saying Protestant churches are all always ugly is like saying Protestant churches are all just a bunch of rock concerts or TED Talks. That's true for some of them, but there's also banal, cringy Catholic liturgies. There are some Protestant churches that have retained at least the appearance of classical liturgies, and the problem is with the deeper theology of the Eucharist and the role of the liturgy. So let's talk about that instead of trying to pick out the speck in a Protestant's eye while ignoring the beige 1970s plank of wood in our own Catholic eyes.